Hi, welcome to Yoga Wild. My name is Liza, and I use the pronouns she, her. This class is part of Wild in Washington in Bellingham. We're filming from the ancestral lands of the Coast Salish people, specifically lands of the Mamasi, Samish, Lummi, and Nooksack tribes. I'm at Woodstock Farm, which is actually a park owned by the city of Bellingham since 2004. It's 16 acres of land, and it's bluff land that overlooks the Chuckanut Bay and the San Juan Islands, and it's actually at the base of Chuckanut Mountain, which is a part of the Cascades that rises up out of the Salish Sea. It's an excellent spot to come and have a picnic, get away from the city. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend coming here. This class is called Restoring Our Connection to Nature. It's a mindfulness practice. All you need to do this is a spot outside, preferably a spot close to your home that you can go to again and again and connect. Did you know that the average American spends 90% of their time indoors and about 11 hours a day on a screen? Richard Louv is the author of a book called Last Child in the Woods. And in that book, he writes about this term, which he coined, called nature deficit disorder. And he attributes things like loss of ability to interpret the world through our senses to this disorder, nature deficit disorder. One of the symptoms of nature deficit disorder is place blindness, which is like the loss of ability to interpret land or have a relationship to land and take in from the natural world cues through our senses. The antidote to place blindness is really simple. You find a spot outside and you start paying attention. You go there and you connect. And then you go there again and again and again, and you reestablish over time connection to place. This is a mindfulness practice to help us reset our connection to place. So in your spot, you might be in your backyard, you might be near a tree, you might be at a park, maybe you're at a body of water that you really love, a place that you have some connection to. So in your place, just start to settle in. You could be sitting or standing, or if it's comfortable to be on your back, you could be reclining. And just give yourself a few moments to settle in to your body in your place. And you could close your eyes and take a few breaths, just a few deep breaths to establish connection here into this moment in your nature spot. And begin to notice what you can hear from where you are. Start by noticing what you can hear that is really close to you. It might be the sound of the wind, if it's windy in your spot. It might be the sound of water splashing. Maybe there's a bird. And take in whatever those sounds are nearest to you. Now let your awareness go a little farther out. What do you hear that is farther away from you? Distant sounds. There's highway or freeway kind of off in the distance. You might be hearing the rush of traffic. Maybe a bird that is farther off in the distance, cheeping. Just getting a sense of whatever you can hear that's farther off. And then what do you hear that is farthest away, like the quietest, farthest away sounding thing? And notice if, as you're paying attention to sounds, what you can take in by listening. If there are things that you can't actually name, things that you don't know the name of, and that's okay. Just still allowing yourself to notice. And from listening, shift gears a little bit. What can you possibly smell from where you are? And fragrance in the air. And you might take a few deeper breaths in through your nose as you take in what you can smell. Out through your mouth. And do that a couple more times. Breathe in through your nose. Take in what you can smell from your space. And out through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. And from smelling, let's shift to feeling. So what do you feel? And this could be different if you're seated or lying down or standing. Noticing first the moments of contact between your body. If you're lying down, you might be feeling some rough points under your body, contact with the earth. If you're standing, you might be feeling just the ground under your feet. Feeling the surface there. Wherever you are, you're feeling air, maybe brush over your skin, across your face. Might be moving your hair, so you may be feeling strands of hair. Just notice whatever you feel. Take several rounds of breath, feeling yourself in your space. And for this next portion of our practice here, I'll invite you to open your eyes if you've held them closed. Open your eyes and begin to take in what you can see with your eyes. And so you can start just taking a few breaths, staring out ahead of you. If you're lying down, maybe it's up at the sky. Just appreciating what you can see in this forward plane. And then take a few moments to just turn and look out in the different directions in your space, appreciating what you can see around you. So as you turn around and look, you may be noticing different plants. You may be noticing rocks or woody debris. Maybe there are fir cones in your space. There might even be animals, maybe you see a squirrel or a bird if you're lucky. There could be a whale if you're in the right spot. I am not in that spot right now. But even taking a look behind you, if you're seated or standing. And if, as you look around in your spot, there's anything that really catches your eye, really takes your attention, and you want to go to that thing and get a little closer to it and spend just a couple of minutes in study of that object, or that even if it's an animal, maybe you walk towards it a couple of footsteps and you appreciate it with your eyes. If it's appropriate to pick it up and touch it and feel its textures, you could pick it up and feel its textures. If it has an aroma and if it's appropriate to pick up your object and smell it, you could pick it up and smell it. And you might put it down and you might find another object, a couple more objects, just taking a couple of minutes to explore your space, your nature spot. can also just stay as you are, seated or standing or lying down. Once you feel complete with your object, or if you've taken a look at a couple of things, once you feel complete with that, go ahead and return to where you started, to your seat or your standing or reclining position. Close your eyes again. We'll take the next 10 breaths just to return to paying attention with our eyes closed, experiencing connection in our nature spot. You can continue to notice what you hear, what you smell, and what you feel from your spot in connection with nature. You are taking in this space through your senses, restoring really your ability to connect to the natural world. And I invite you to gently open your eyes. Notice after spending this time in your spot, as you open your eyes, do you see with a different clarity, possibly, than before? And appreciate that gift of simply paying attention, simply dropping in and being in connection. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you will come back to your nature spot again and again. Check in with your spot maybe in a week. If it's farther away, if it's at home, you can go and take a little nature time every day. But if it's a little farther away, check in a week, in a month, throughout the year, and you'll notice changes, and you'll start to have this kind of relationship to place, restoring sense of place, and kind of refreshing ourselves from that place blindness. Feel free to share in the comments anything you noticed during your mindfulness practice from your nature spot. Thank you.